So, Bob, you there?
I'm here. I'm still not showing my face because it's all swollen.
Oh, okay.
I had a bad allergic reaction apparently. So.
All right. So let's just get started. I have a couple of questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So first, a couple of observations. First, just in case you didn't notice, Anthony Simons was ruled questionable, which probably means he's playing. Lillard's projections come down on pretty much all the sites. So that's just something that people might have missed. So that's
I think it's a really important point, and I agree that I expect Simons to play. I feel like this is their official playoff push now, so everybody's going to play every day. That if a guy gets moved up to questionable, he's playing in that situation.
Next thing I wanted to ask you about was let's talk about so many games to go at. So let's see how much time we can spend or how little time we want to spend on the OKC Laker game. Okay.
Well, that's going to be honestly, you're going to play that game. The problem is there are so many ways for it to dud out.
I know.
It's really hard. Well, it's not hard for somebody's going to get there. You know what I mean? But it might be Trey Mann or Lindy Waters. You know, you have a tanking team that really is in a weird spot. You know, that they're going to let their guys who are playing well play. Like Saric has a huge projection on SaberSim, a pretty good projection on yours. And he legitimately could be a DNP. They just don't have that many. They do have 11 guys, and they're missing a ton of their normal minutes. But they just divvied them up last night. They kept Giddey out of the game. It's a little. Jalen Williams was spectacular, and still only played 32 minutes. But I like it. I like him too as a run, a guy. My lineups are built with those stacks, but I'm starting to feel more and more nervous about the OKC side of it, where Trey Mann, Aaron Wiggins, and Lindy Waters at 0% ownership might be the guys who we should be playing.
Right. A couple of my observations on that. First of all, is the Oklahoma City kind of benching or whatever it is of Giddey and all them. I think they were. I mean, it seems as though they were just literally just leaving the guys in that were playing well. And that's why whatever. But the thing that's interesting is that
they haven't done it this year yet until that game. So that was why it was weird.
The thing is, this Jalen Williams thing.
He's an awesome player.
The expensive one. That could be like a real thing, you know.
Oh no, I think everybody who knows the NBA well enough knows that it is, and that this guy is like a legit should have been a top 4 or 5 pick, and that he's like an awesome point guard / wing.
Well, I did the NBA thing earlier today. There were a couple of people in there that was asking a couple of questions. But there's one real sharp guy in there.
Yeah.
And he was noticed. I mean, you probably noticed this stuff, but I didn't notice it. That Jalen Williams, even when Giddey's on the floor, I mean, Jalen Williams is the guy bringing up the ball.
100%, absolutely.
Yeah.
They like to play Giddey off ball without Shea.
Yeah.
Which is weird because you'd think it'd be the opposite, but they with Jalen Williams there, it's not the same as last year where every time Shea was out, you just lock in Giddey and you're good.
So I think what I'm going to do with the OKC is that I don't think I'm going to play Saric unless he's starting. No, he's probably not going to start, right? Because I've seen that before. The variation you just literally mentioned, okay, that he doesn't start, he still goes off 20% owned, and he just literally never plays.
Yeah. On a back-to-back,
complains. You know what
and
I mean?
on a back-to-back for a 30-some-odd-year-old guy who's has no part of their future, who literally has been injured for the last 4 years.
Yeah,
we're gonna rely on that guy. I think I'm talking myself out of him right now.
Yeah, so I'll play him if he starts, but if he doesn't start, no.
I'm gonna play some of him either way. I don't expect him to start, but I just think that you want a little bit of exposure because there is a chance he could become a must-have guy because of his upside.
The Lakers are interesting. The guys. So here's the guys that they're obvious. So the guys that we've been playing, right? So Beasley, Vanderbilt, Schroeder, Reeves, as we saw it last night. I mean, anybody can do it. You know, Reeves and Walker were the guys yesterday.
But if you watch the Lakers, Reeves gets his chance, and he's it's not like he's a guy who doesn't create offensively. 20% usage the last game. he doesn't like not do things out there. You know, he had 7 assists in 20 whatever minutes, 27 minutes. Like,
so what I was going to suggest to talk about are these bigs. Okay, so we're obviously going to wait for starting lineups. I'm presuming.
So most importantly, you don't need to play big against OKC.
Okay.
Ever.
So
because David Williams is not that type of a big.
So if that's the case, I imagine something like Rui and Vanderbilt could play the 4-5. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you don't have to play guys like Wendell, like Gabriel too much if you don't want to.
Yeah, and also shouldn't we maybe play Mo Bamba instead of?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you about. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Bamba played literally 1 minute last time,
which actually is probably a good sign for him tonight.
I mean, I imagine that they didn't get him to never play him, right?
They wanted a legitimate backup, actual big, and to be versatile with guys like Vanderbilt and Hachimura, long, lanky, that kind of a thing. I play tonight, but I think that his minutes will range from 5 to 30. I really think all of it's on the table. I mean, we saw it with Lonnie Walker last night. Like Lonnie Walker, only played 22 minutes, but he lit it up for those 22 minutes, and he still didn't get more run, which is a little disheartening. The guys I feel best with on the Lakers, like I feel best about Schroeder actually. Look, I'm gonna build a little bit of narratives onto things, and all things being equal kind of a situation. And going to OKC, it's not even that there's like a revenge. It's more that they like him there. He's their guy. He was one of their guys, for a playoff team. So they do like him. And I think those little things make a difference. But Beasley's the obvious one. I don't think Vanderbilt is obvious as he's being treated. Like if he ends up 65% owned at 4,900, as I mentioned last night with him, there is absolutely a lot of bus paths for him. Could he put up 45? 100% in this matchup, he could put up 45. But I don't think it's this lock play. I have 2 big buy-ins, two of them in there, and he's going to be in one of them, and he won't be in hardly any of my other side lineups. Okay. That's how I'm feeling Vanderbilt today.
Couple. Now I want to kind of go backwards before we go forwards because I want to talk also about
Can I also just throw out before I forget my favorite GPP play of the night? It's my favorite. The number one play of the night is CJ McCollum.
Okay.
And by the way, I've said this exactly 3 times I think before, and I think he's won me 100,000 every time. So I'm just putting that out there.
I would only play him if he was going back to Portland or something like that.
Oh yeah, something like that. It's like a little thing like that.
Yeah. So next time he's playing in Portland, then remind me. Otherwise, I'm not interested.
The nightmare scenario for that, he decides to lock in and put all of his energy on defense and guarding Dame and stopping this run that Dame's been on, and then you don't get anything from him offensively. That's my only fear.
That would be so annoying.
But nobody's going to play. He's going to be 5% owned, and it's an incredible play that allows you to get away from some of these chalky plays.
Yeah. So I had a couple of basketball-related observations. So first of all, Rozier, let's talk about him for a minute. So with LaMelo out, the natural play, it seems, would be to play Rozier. But the question is this the role that you want from him? Would you rather him be off ball, second option, and be able to shoot whenever he feels like it, rather than running point? There you have Oubre starting. What do you think of the Rozier play in general? It's like an early game, so it's a little annoying. But what do you think?
Yeah, so mostly the games are cross-offs early on for me, with this exception. I think Rozier, if the game stays reasonable, and maybe because Phoenix will try to figure something out, my fear is that you look up at the end of the first quarter and it's 38-10 or something.
Yeah.
But I also think there's to Charlotte's credit, they've hung in there. Oubre's starting, by the way, tonight for what it's worth.
That's what I just said.
Sorry, I missed that. But with Oubre starting, I do think it takes a little bit of my love away from Dennis Smith Jr., but I still really like him.
Okay. A couple of other basketball-related points. I would mention Schroeder. I saw somewhere that he has not that he's a bad play, but a lot of his assists actually go to AD. So that's something, I guess. But I want to talk about some of these pretty much all these studs, right? So Lillard back to back, okay. Then you have Morant coming off of an amazing performance, back to back, and Memphis kind of tends to. I don't know if they're going to run him so hard. So that's another one. The are we supposed and I don't want to play Giannis, but on FanDuel, I'm almost tempted to do it.
I do want to play Giannis.
Okay, where
we have plenty of money to spend. I think Giannis is the clear top spend with Simons, assuming Simons plays. I think Lillard is still right, like not that far beneath him though.
Okay.
And I like the Lillard McCollum thing in the last game. I'm actually debating potentially playing, like, just in case you get some weird piece of somebody else, somebody new, something.
Well, the news that I was getting at is still very much pending, and that is the Island game with Jonas Valanciunas being freaking questionable. I mean, if he is out, then you have maybe a 3K or whatever it is, Hernan Gomez, who, if the game were at 7:00, would be 80% owned.
Well, maybe you have Jackson Hayes, Hernan Gomez,
or maybe Jackson Hayes.
That's part of the problem. Then, but then you're saying at best case, so I have the same situation as the Lakers. You know,
I don't think it's the best. I think it's much better, isn't it?
Why? Because
I don't know. Like if Valanciunas, listen, if Hernan Gomez starts, I think he's a lock.
If Hernan Gomez, if you told me right now he's starting, I'm playing Hernan Gomez. I'm not.
Well, that's the point. The point is that there's a chance that he does, but we won't know that until these games start.
But what happens if Jackson Hayes is starting, who we've seen start before and only play like 14 minutes sometimes, and we've seen come off the bench and play 28 minutes?
Okay.
In these same situations, we've had this scenario come up this year before. We can refer to the past a little bit.
But don't we want to leave a spot for that?
I mean, I just think that, yes, while those are obvious plays, if Valanciunas is out, the Pelicans also need to win games too. He played 23 minutes last night.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I kind of want to play him if he plays.
I didn't consider him.
Yeah,
I can't play guys who just don't close, man. Like, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, but you were just saying it though. You were just saying that they really want to win games. Right?
Yeah, but he doesn't close. That's their winning lineup. Is not.
Why play him? I mean, in this spot. I mean, like.
So I'm not going to play Joe Val.
No. I meant, why should a team play him?
Because he still is a strong guy and he's really good per minute, but he's good for like 24 minutes. Everything else feels like a little bit of a reach sometimes with the relation to that. So it's an interesting question, right? Like. The problem is you don't have like another 3K pivot, but you do have, what you can do is use Thibault as your guy, leave 100 on the table, and then play Hernan Gomez if he starts or Jackson Hayes if he starts.
What I was going to do is I was going to use Najee Marshall.
Let me think about that for a second.
Not the greatest play in the world, but you know what
I mean?
Well,
actually, I don't mind that at all because I think that he's a pretty good point per minute guy anyway.
Right.
And what's weird is, Sheets, there's a path where, like, that's the other part of this. You can play small against Portland now because Eubanks is not going to beat you up inside. They don't have the giant guy in Nurkic, so you could literally see Najee Marshall playing the 5 for minutes, or Herb Jones or Brandon Ingram against the Jeremy Grants and Drew Eubanks and Trendon Watfords. And that's the other guy you could use is Watford. Who's legitimately totally in play, if it was a normal slate anyway. Like he put up 24, yesterday. Why can't he put up 24 again? I don't know,
And also from that game on FanDuel, you're still getting this desire from the optimizers to want you to play Jeremy Grant, but I don't know. With especially with Simon's back, I don't buy that one. I don't know.
The only thing I got, Jeremy Grant, I know it was a weird game, but he was 5 for 17 from the field last game, and he put up 36 fantasy points. He did make 13 free throws.
He also plays 57 minutes a game. I mean, like,
and he had a 30% usage rate, which is absolutely incredible.
That is pretty sick.
Playing with Damian Lillard and have a 30% usage rate is Damian. He almost had the same one as Dame for the last game. Dame only had a 31% usage rate. They started doing that high trap thing though, so it's kind of hard for you to keep your usage rate high when they just trap you with 3 guys at the court, half court.
I happened to I couldn't quite get to this after the AD news came out, but somebody was trying to make a case to me about the about Brooklyn being a kind of good low-owned stack.
So I wanted to mention that I do love Julius Randle. He always plays well in these games. He didn't necessarily put up the same fantasy production the last time they played, but these are like big games to him, at least, you know, but I don't know if it's the same without Kevin Durant, you know, I don't know. With Brooklyn was sort of like the trendy team and the Knicks were playing well, like a couple of years ago, even like I just remember Randall talking about how that's like the biggest, you know, that circled on his calendar.
It's still a big game.
I think it's still a big game, right? So Julius Randle's a guy at 9.5, and you know who we haven't mentioned? We haven't mentioned Julius Randle, who I like a lot, and we haven't mentioned a guy who won me all the money the other night, and only had basically a standard usage rate for him. But what he does is he gets to the line, he rebounds the hell out of the ball in close games, and it's Jimmy Butler. You know, and by the way, Embiid is still questionable as well.
Well, and tell me this: at what point do they rule Morant out?
Why do you think Morant's going to?
Why does he need to play? I mean, it's on a back-to-back. I mean, I don't know.
This is the time. If there was ever a time to play back-to-backs, this is the time of year. Yeah.
Oh, because they're really trying to win. You're saying?
Yeah. They are. They're still not out of it for the 1 seed, which is always obviously a nice thing. More importantly, they're trying to hold on to the 2 seed. Yeah, you don't want to play either the Kings or Suns on the road if you can help it.
Okay.
So they're definitely going to try and aim for that 2 seed as much as they can. And they're struggling too. They're playing bad basketball. So I think that they're more likely to be playing than usual.
You like any of this, like Xavier Tillmans or anybody like that?
I didn't get there personally. I'm okay with it. Like I could see it on FanDuel or something. I think it looked good earlier. I can't remember if that's right. But
yeah, that's what I was looking at actually.
Yeah, on DraftKings, it's actually like weird because he's cheaper over on DraftKings, and he played 32 minutes. He had 40. I think we should consider a little bit more than maybe I have considered about him.
Well, I have another play that was looking good before like all the Lakers stuff happened. You have any interest in going back to Wiseman for Detroit?
I didn't really like. So I played both those guys that night, and they finally played them together at the end. But now you've got Bogdanovich and back, and you're basically going to probably see split minutes. I don't think they're going to go back to the Bagley lineups with Wiseman. So I honestly feel like they're both the same play. I don't feel like there's a difference between the two of Bagley and Wiseman. I think that I've had to pick one. I picked Bagley, but I don't think that either of them are really making it for me today.
Yeah.
You're talking about just half minutes for centers that were productive, and it's a good matchup. Like, it is weird that one of these days DeMar DeRozan's going to smash to at 7,900.
I know. I thought he was a good player earlier in the day.
When there's no
value, I was going to go this middling route. I was going to play him. I was going to play Rozier. I was going to play Giddey. I was just going to play like those 7,200s.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm telling you who to play, though. I'm telling you the one to play is my guy.
Dude, he's in my big bucket right now.
McCollum is?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Me and you, buddy. Watch us just at the end. We can just watch us cruise up the leaderboard.
Yeah.
What do you have for Dame right now? I'm just going to check your ownership for Dame's.
I don't know because I got to redo his projection because, again, his projection's got to come down.
It's got to come down a little bit.
I mean, I'll put it like 52 or something like that, maybe.
It's so weird that they have Saric is the best. It's so crazy if Saric.
I don't think I'm interested in that. You know,
it worries me big time too. Ugh.
You know how I'm going to do something which I know you don't like, but I think I might do it anyway.
What's that?
I might either like play him like a lot or just X him. I just might.
Well, no, I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind.
No, you talk about that a lot. That's probably.
Well, there's certain situations where you should do it. Then you should be weighing in like how big is the slate, what other value do we have? You know what I mean? Because if you
listen, did they play last night?
What's that? Yeah, they played last night. He played.
I mean, if Saric at 35 years old is going to beat me at chalk on a back-to-back, I mean, you know what I mean? Like
for a team where he's not starting, the game before he played 5 minutes, like you don't know what's going to happen. They do have a ton of minutes to go around though, without Kenrich Williams. I mean, like they have 10 guys.
Right. They do.
Some of them are going to get there. Saric might even get there like have a bad game and get there by accident in like 12 minutes or something. Like just hit a couple threes and block a couple shots. Hey, what's up to my man Forrest? Yeah, millionaire night. Time to go after it. I don't love that all my I have like 5 players from the Lakers and OKC in both of my builds right now. And I'm going to change. It's
hard to know which guys. That's the
problem.
You know.
And I don't love I like Terry Rozier. I just feel like there's something wrong with something's up with this. I don't think this is the play I don't think I need to play him. I actually forced Giddey out to play him and left money.
Here's a couple of the recency bias plays. Like Saric is a recency bias play. Tari Eason is a recency bias play. He just smashed yesterday, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the argument though for the Lakers side of things tonight. The Lakers are obviously desperately trying to win without AD, LeBron, and D'Angelo Russell. So your 3 highest usage guys by a million miles, and they're trying to win desperately against a team that doesn't really want to win. Still beats them every time this comes up, but the Lakers are going to play heavy minutes to the guys playing well, just period. So I actually think when you're looking at how many guys from a team. I think that the natural thing is to play 3 Lakers. I really do. I think that you should play 3 Lakers in a huge portion of your lineups. But between my favorites being Beasley, Reeves, and I like Schroeder because I feel safe with him. But I think you should be playing 3 Lakers. And I think that the OKC guys are incredible spots for everybody. I don't know. I honestly, the best plays are they may get benched for playing too well. They're not tanking that hard though. So they're going to try to kind of win, but they might do what they did last night and just leave the guys on the court as long as they're making up the difference. And you end up with a bunch of Trey Mann minutes or a bunch of Lindy Waters minutes.
Lindy Waters wasn't bad. He wasn't bad either.
No, he put up 27 fantasy points in 12 minutes the other day. I kind of agree with Forrest about the Oubre and DSJ. The problem with Oubre is he still may be on a semi-minutes ish limit. You know what I mean? He's probably the first guy off in a blowout, even as a starter, because he's coming back from that injury. So I just would be careful a little bit with the Oubre thing. This is one of the, and also one thing we should mention about that matchup too. It's no fun to go play against, look, I know he's not the same defender he used to be, but Phoenix is not going to let you beat up on their point guard when it's Chris Paul, and then they've got all these guys, they got all their guys now. It's not going to be an easy, we're going to let Terry Rozier just go nuts against us. I just think they're a good team, and I'm starting to talk myself off of the Rozier thing. 7,200 though is pretty ridiculous. He doesn't need to play that well to get there.
I mean, he's not going to play well. I mean, he stinks. But he might score a lot of fantasy points.
I disagree. I actually like Rozier. I think he's a good basketball player. I think he's a really good 5th or 6th best player on a title team.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, he's a good defender when he wants to. He just doesn't play defense in Charlotte.
Nobody likes to play defense though.
In Charlotte, nobody plays defense. You know who plays defense, Sheets? Have you watched Drew Holiday in some of these games? I'm telling you right now, I think he's the best defender in the NBA. It's so sad. He's never going to win Defensive Player of the Year, but I think he's actually the most valuable defensive player in the NBA.
Drew Holiday?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's not news, I guess.
No, it's just weird though. This guy shuts down Kevin Durant, and then he shuts down your 6-foot lightning quick point guard. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah.
They would have him guarding Giannis if they weren't on the same freaking team.
Right.
It's pretty amazing. All right. Yeah, it is a really weird slate when you look at. I mean, what is it of the LA OKC game? What, 7? The top 8 projected players are from that game. 9. Like it can't possibly work. Like,
I mean, you just can't possibly get them all right. I mean,
well, the weirdest thing is that none of them are to have no player in a game with that kind of a total and have nobody projected for 30 like 35 fantasy points is kind of just unbelievable. Oh no, Giddey's projected for 40. 39 by you. So, but Giddey literally may get like 5. Like, it's horrifying, man.
he might get like 5.
But maybe we're overthinking it even.
I don't think he might get like 5. I think I would maybe we are thinking. Why don't we just play him, Dort, and
Play him instead of Rozier. Maybe that's my thing.
play them all, whatever.
I didn't ask you, but I am playing Tari Eason tonight. I didn't know if you were.
I was just asking you about him. I thought he was the recency bias sucker play. We're supposed to play him again?
Well, so it depends on how you view things. Like this guy is an absolute fantasy point per minute monster. He is a rookie who they love, and everybody loves. Everybody thinks this guy was an absolute steal, and they have no reason but to try and give him minutes. Like if you tell me he's only playing 20 minutes, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Like he's going to get me 20 most of the time in that time. He'll give me 30. If he's got upside to play 30 minutes, oh boy, I'm in. The only thing that really hurts him quietly is that Carter is back tonight. I'm sorry, Porter is back tonight, Porter Jr., which is just going to change the rotation up and not free up as many minutes for him. So I'm a little bit questioning my Deshaun Tate love. Sorry, not Deshaun Tate, excuse me.
I got it. Tari Eason.
Tari Eason, excuse me. Yeah. But that's the other problem. Tate's supposed to come back too. Ugh. I think Tari Eason might be. So that might be a switch I have to make right after we get off this. I'll leave in about 5 minutes. But I think that Tari Eason. Look, you got a bunch of people there, guys. Hit the like button, please. I like the Forrest idea of Lonnie Walker. Like I don't think I have the balls to pull it off in the what's it called in the 2500. Partially because even while he was on fire last night, they pulled him. He only played 22 minutes, and they have a lot of guards. But I'm really torn on him. I don't know. I just don't think I don't think I have the balls to do it in the big one. So maybe I should. Maybe I should have a little more love for Lonnie Walker. I just am having trouble. Like I like Reeves better. I like Beasley better. I like Rui better. I like Schroeder better. And how many Lakers can I play even between two steps?
Well, and what happens, like you say, what happens if they come out and say we're starting Mo Bamba?
I think you're playing Mo Bamba.
You are, right? I mean,
I don't think it's a question. I think if they're playing Mo Bamba is in your lineups. And I think Mo Bamba, in that case, if you know he's going to play anyway, and which we think he will, man, he can put up numbers. Somebody's going to get like 50 from this team, and we just don't know who it is. Like, what's weird is Mo Bamba is probably more likely to get 50 than all the guys I said before him. and maybe that means you should play him with at 5% ownership or 10% ownership or whatever it is. Scott McCarty asking, how many Lakers is too many in a GPP? For me, I would say if you're playing 4, I probably want to run back. But I think the answer is probably it's hard for 5 to get there. But if you're playing 5 with Giddey on the other side and Jalen Williams then using Giannis, then I think if you got the right 5, you're okay. But it's sort of like that. It would be better for a small slate like we had the other night with the 1-on-1, the 4-gamer. It's hard to get that across in this big one. Couple things I wanted to touch on about things down the stretch. Be very careful with Jokic. I don't think Denver's going. They're basically almost have the 1 seed locked up in the West, and to have overall best record is unlikely for them already. So I think that you're going to see them on cruise control, sort of like they were last night. It doesn't mean he's not going to play or things like that. It just means that like you're going to see like games where he plays like 28 minutes.
okay.
No problem, Scott. Happy to help out. And guys, if you haven't hit the like button already, I haven't been able to look at it because I'm looking at our restream, but please do so and make sure to subscribe and make sure you're in our Discord. Make sure I'm going to load it, the Better Takes Discord for sports betting stuff right now.
I have
really helped me with my NBA bets here. Let's do that.
So I have a sports betting bet.
What's that?
All right, I'm gonna look it up first.
I have to send you. Yeah, I'm gonna send you.
It's literally just I literally cannot believe this line. So we were gonna. Okay, it's not that bad. I changed my mind.
What was it gonna be?
Well, Toronto was playing like Edmonton tonight, and these are like the two like biggest offensive teams like in the world. And it's like just a total freaking shootout waiting to happen. And the implied team totals were only like made it like 6.5 somehow. I was just gonna say there's got to be a reason to just pound the under, but it is actually at 7. So which actually helps. I'm probably gonna have like a shitload of exposure to that game in the DFS. So it's kind of glad I don't have the over in that, the under in that. Hold on. 5-2.
So we're going to talk through some golf tonight. That'll be fun.
Yep.
Wiggy's got Gabriel and Reeves. I like it. I'm okay with it, but I also think keep an eye out for that huge game from Bamba.
If he starts, I'll try it, but I'm not playing him if he's not to start.
All gems to answer. We're going to cover that. I hope you can join us. So let's late one, but we're going to do a live sweat 11 Eastern.
Yes.
Right for CJ McCollum to have 40 at halftime, 40 fantasy points at halftime.
No, that's no fun. I want him to have like 15 and then get everybody in the second half.
No, get him in the first. Get him in the first. This is a big slate. I need all the points we can get, man. Somebody else is going to get me also.
No, we need a max drama. It's like
max drama. Get out of here. I'll just take the $1 million. You can have all the drama. I want the money.
Someone else can take the drama.
I'll pass the drama. All right, I'm going to get out of here, but I'll leave it on. Good luck to all you guys. I'm going to finish building my lineups, and hopefully, when we're sweating later, we're talking about what decisions we made that are making us have a shot at $1 million.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Or we're totally dead, and all of our games are over, and it's done.
Or we're totally dead, and our games are over, and it's done. That's definitely possible.
Yeah. Good luck, everybody.
Keep editing. I guess I'm pretty good here, right? I can get rid of him. And then stock types. Fine. Let's go 20 here. No, we don't need. All right, so I guess I'll just get out of here. 33, and then 10, 43, and 70. Okay. All right, so I'll see you guys. Oh, I'm not doing F1. Green Monster. Sorry about that. All right, I will see you guys later.